Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling for our TNA 2007 playthrough. Today, it will be No Surrender 2007. We've already got the show entirely booked. We're ready to go. But today will be the final pay-per-view before Bound for Glory, which means this is the big one. It is the finale of the Bound for Glory series. Let's take a look. So this is where we're at right now with the Bound for Glory series. Chris Jericho in first place, he's in. Abyss, second place, he's in. AJ Styles, third place, he's in. But fourth and fifth are tied. Christian and Scott Steiner, they are tied. So what we had to do is we had to have an episode of Explosion to decide who would take that final spot. Would it be Steiner? Would it be Cage? Jeff Hardy, Joe, Matt Morgan, Nakamura, A-Train, Rhino, and Ron Killings all missed out on the top four, thus eliminated from the series. So the final matchup, it would have to take place at Explosion. Not ideal. Normally we'd like to have a big match like this happen on Impact, but I guess you could say in this series we were just a little bit behind schedule than perhaps what we would have liked to have been. Just a week or two behind schedule. We were a little bit slow at the beginning of the series getting some matches sorted out, and it kind of cost us towards the end. Last year when we had the series, it was a lot, went a lot smoother. We had a little bit more time up our sleeves. This year we were just completely rushed. So we'll have a look at Explosion's results. So to take you back a little bit further, Impact was a 96 rated. We had Scott Steiner beat Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. Addiction beat Insane Asylum. Molina, Christie, Rebecca Knox to beat Natalia, Lita, Sarah Del Rey, and Kim Kong. Muhammad Hassan Team 3D beat the main event Mafia. And Chris Jericho defeated Styles, Cage, and Abyss in a Fatal 4-Way. Big Fatal 4-Way that was for a 96 rated show. Explosion, it was the tag division. We're going to do a Fatal 4-Way tag team match at the pay-per-view to decide who's going to take on America's Most Wanted at Bound for Glory. Matt Morgan defeated Kenta. Shannon Moore challenged CM Punk to a match. Lita hyped up a match potentially against Molina. And then we had Christian beat Scott Steiner. It was a heel versus heel, so the rating was a bit poor. 79 was the end result. And Jericho and Cage, who will have a match at this upcoming No Surrender pay-per-view, they had to stand down to close things out for an 84 overall show, which is pretty good for Explosion. We normally, for Explosion, high 70s, low 80s, so to get an 84 was pretty solid. Now, No Surrender is happening right now, and we have a quick look at some of the popularity of our big names. So it will be Abyss taking on AJ Styles in one of the two matches for this series. Abyss 94 pop, AJ Styles 88. The other one, Chris Jericho, 90 popularity, and Christian Cage also has 90-91 as well. So those are our two big matches. I asked you guys last episode, should it be Muhammad Hassan versus Sting or Hassan versus Jeff Jarrett? You guys said, hey, do Sting, why not? It's something a little bit different, give Sting a big match, and it will help Muhammad Hassan. So the match itself, I'm sure, won't be that great in terms of rating, but it's a different matchup, and it's a good match for Muhammad Hassan. So it is heel versus heel, so it will be pretty poor. It might only be 70 if we're lucky, but it's something different. Better than doing Jarrett and Hassan. And the main event Mafia giving us a little bit of time to kill between now and Bound for Glory. So that's been pretty useful for us there. But also the main event Mafia at the same time, whilst they've lost to Muhammad Hassan, have gained a lot of popularity. Scotty Steiner gone from low 80s up to 88. Sting was low 80s, now mid 80s. Jeff Jarrett as well, he was low 80s, now getting close to high 80s/90s. So very good end result there for us. So we're going to do Sting and Muhammad Hassan as that matchup there. And that's really all there is to kind of cover. We had some contract news. I think Chris Masters' contract was up for grabs, but I figured that we've used Chris Masters really heavily in our WWE 2011 series that I wouldn't want to bring him in. And plus, most likely we are ending the series at Bound for Glory, so we don't want to really sign any new names. We just want to kind of utilize who we've got. And that kind of brings it back to another point. I've been thinking about it. I'm thinking maybe I won't use Brock Lesnar. If I'm going to use Brock, I feel like I might bring him in as a face and then have Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. That's kind of the match I'm thinking, but I don't even know if I'm going to put Lesnar on the card because I feel like I should probably use that time slot or the time allocated to our TNA guys rather than utilizing an outside marquee draw. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Joe versus Lesnar would be pretty good. Lesnar versus Abyss would be the other option there. Of course, Abyss doesn't win. Abyss could at this point, but we'll have to see. Lesnar, Jericho, Lesnar Styles would be good. There's some matchups there, but we'll have to kind of figure out what we want. But at the moment, I guess the front runner will be Lesnar and Joe, or Lesnar and Abyss, if depending on where Abyss is at. Lesnar and A-Train would be a good match, but A-Train's a little bit too low. I just want a big matchup, but we'll have to see what we can produce. Alright, so no surrender, it's all booked up. Let's run the show. Let's see how we went. So, let's do it. So we had some participants from the Bound for Glory series, 6 guys who didn't make the final. We put them on the pre-show in a 6-man tag. Jeff Hardy, Rhino, and R-Truth versus A-Train, Samoa Joe, and Scott Steiner. 88 rated was the matchup there, with Samoa Joe getting a victory by tapping out Rhino. R-Truth 81, Rhino 87. That's some pretty good performances from our low-end guys. Jeff Hardy 93 was the best of the match. Scott Steiner 80, Joe and A-Train 90 apiece. Very good. Park versus Rocky Romero happened as well. It's been a bit of a feud over the last number of weeks. We gave Romero a win after he cheated to beat Park, but Park 75. Very good, and Rocky Romero 66, so an overall 74, which is a good match, but interesting to note to see how good Park was traveling there. We open things up with the opening contest in the Bound for Glory series, for tonight's Bound for Glory series, and that is the first of our 2 final matches. AJ Styles versus Abyss, 96 rated, and AJ Styles beat the monster. He got a surprise victory over Abyss. That means Abyss will be in the final of the Bound for Glory series, which will take place in our main event later on tonight. Big match. Styles 89, Abyss 97. So Styles wasn't as good as he possibly could have been, but 96 rated match. Fantastic way to kick the pay-per-view off. Jericho had a promo on Christian Cage to follow it up. We then had CM Punk and Shannon Moore. They had a quick little match up there. CM Punk quickly beating Shannon Moore, whose contract is expiring. Punk 60, Moore 52. They don't have chemistry, so the match was always going to be pretty poor. But we figured, let's get them on pay-per-view. Let's try and boost up CM Punk's popularity to the best of our ability, and hopefully that will do the job there. We had a big contract signing. So Lashley and Goldberg's been going on for months. The two haven't really met face-to-face too often, only really on pay-per-views. This nearly didn't make the card. I nearly had to, originally I had Park versus Romero on the main show, but I had to cut that to the pre-show to put this on, which I think is a better call. Lashley and Goldberg, 93 rated for the contract sign. We had some guys surrounding the ring, Monty Brown, Matt Hardy, Bobby Roode. They're feuding as well, so if you can all throw them together, maybe they can interact, in a bit of a security situation. So Kevin Thornton tested there as well. So some names they were thrown in the mix just to try and, realistically, if this segment was to happen, you'd have like 20 guys surrounding the ring to make sure Lashley and Goldberg don't kill each other. So yeah, 93 rated. Fatal 4-way for the Knockouts #1 contendership. Christy, Hammy, Lita, Gal, Kim, and Sarita, with Lita picking up the victory, and she's now the #1 contender and will face Molina at Bound for Glory match. We're going to be building to. Christy 61, Lita was the best, second best in the match, 77. Gal Kim was the best, 79. Sarita 69 as well. So big opportunity for Christy to show us what she was made of, show us how good she is. Didn't quite deliver, I suppose, but didn't exactly do all that badly. 61's pretty solid. Sting had a promo on Muhammad Hassan. Will that mean this match is next? No. So Nakamura versus Matt Morgan for the Global Championship is now next. So this has been going on for ages. Throughout the Bound for Glory series, these two guys have been interrupting each other. So finally, these two will meet one-on-one. The global title will be on the line. So let's see how it goes. 86 rated. So I suppose low storyline hit. No. Yeah, it was low storyline hit, and also short match length. It was an 18-minute match. yet still short match length. Maybe they should have went 20. Nakamura 87, Matt Morgan 92. Nakamura won by count out. Matt Morgan got himself counted out. Said, you know what? Not tonight. I'm going to take a walk. So that will set up for the rematch, the final match between the two at Bound for Glory. Then we had a hype video for Christian versus Jericho. This is going to be big. You know, this has been, going on for months, this feud. Ever since Slammiversary, this has been going on. So lots of build towards it. The two have had some matches against each other and have always been, in the mix and always been, talking some trash to each other throughout the Bound for Glory series. So now it's kind of fitting they meet in the finals. It's a 99 rated match. Wow. Christian was off his game. I mean, if he was on his game, would have been 100. We just can't seem to crack the 100 in this series. 99 again. Christian 95. Jericho 97. Brilliant. 99 rated. It's awesome. With Christian winning. He won by submission after blatantly cheating. So Christian cheating to win, beats Chris Jericho, ultimately has the last laugh because this is the big one. You may have beaten him at Slammiversary, that's great, but this is the one you need to win, and Christian won it. He followed up by attacking Chris Jericho as well. So Chris Jericho beaten down after the match as well. So Christian gets just an extra one up on him as well. So not only does he beat him in the match, he beats him down afterwards, hurting Chris Jericho and sending the ultimate message. Then a promo from Muhammad Hassan versus Sting. Look, it's not going to go that well. I mean, look, it's a heel versus heel. It's already going to get penalized. Sting's pretty rubbish in this series. Muhammad Hassan's doing really well, but can he carry him to an 80? That would be ideal. The hype video was good, 85, so that gives us some promise, but can he possibly get this to an 80? No, 76, not quite. So Muhammad Hassan was good, 95, but Sting again, 67, obviously heel versus heel as well, so it is what it is. But Muhammad Hassan beats Sting, and that'll do it for this feud between Muhammad Hassan and the Main Event Mafia. And we'll be able to move Muhammad Hassan on and get him ready for the Bound for Glory Series winner, who he cuts a promo on afterwards. Not a great promo, to be honest with you. A little surprising. Okay, I'm not sure why. Being short. It was a 5-minute promo, but I guess a little bit too short. Alex Shelley defended the X Division title against Jay Lethal, ending this feud between the two. Shelley 91, Lethal were really good though, 84, but for some reason the match, I guess the short match length, only a 10-minute match, we couldn't really give it a lot of time, so that's why the match wasn't as good as it potentially could have been. But the story of Jay Lethal getting a nice little upset win over Shelley, holding the belt for a month, and having that nice little feel-good moment is now come to a close. Shelley with a comfortable victory, winning here, and now he'll need a new opponent for Bound for Glory, and who that will be, I don't actually just quite know yet. I'm not sure. Maybe we might do a multi-man match and kind of have a crazy match there and feature some of our top X Division guys. Speaking of potential X Division opponents, we had some of the guys that could potentially be in that match. In this one, Homicide, Chavo Guerrero, Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, The Addiction, and Kings of Wrestling for an 83 rated match with The Addiction, Fallen Angel, and Frankie Kazarian picking up a victory in this one, making them the number one contenders as we kind of expected. Some good performances though. Strong 96, Aries 99, Chavo was good 79, Homicide 97, Kazarian 86, Fallen Angel, you think out of everyone in this match he would probably be one of the best, 91, Chris Hero 100, Cesaro 98. Wow, there's some really, really good tag team performances. You'd think maybe it could have been a little bit better. I suppose it was only a 15-minute match, and yeah, that was one of the reasons. I did try and make it an all-out match, so I wanted them just to try and do whatever they possibly can in this time period, and it seems like they did a pretty good job. And now, Styles versus Christian. The final of the Bound for Glory series. The winner will take on Muhammad Hassan at Bound for Glory. And the winner will be, and the match result is 99 again. Just can't crack 100. Just cannot do it. Well, kudos to Styles and Christian, who wrestled nearly an hour in total in tonight's show. But AJ Styles wins the Bound for Glory series. He defeats Christian, and he will now take on Muhammad Hassan at Bound for Glory for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. A 99 rated match. I mean, 2 99s in the one show, a 96. It's got to be good. It's got to be at least 96, surely. And we had AJ Styles celebrate at the end, so hopefully this segment doesn't bring it down a little bit, because it was just 88. And it's a 96 rated show, so there you go. A really, really solid show. I mean, I'm happy with it, but I just thought maybe there was a chance that we could get that 97 or something like that. So I'm going to give Abyss some love, because he was upset that he lost to AJ Styles, and I'll give Styles and Christian some praise as well. I'm going to tell them all they're awesome, because they are. Yeah, they are all awesome. And at the end of the day, that's a really solid show. That's a really solid pay-per-view, and gives us a really strong foundation for Bound for Glory and some momentum heading into the biggest show of the series so far, and the biggest show that TNA produces all year round. So very, very pleased. We covered a lot of our feuds in this show. We obviously struggled to kind of cover every single feud, but you know, we did our best. Chris Masters is staying with WWE. 0.46 buy rate for No Surrender. So this time we actually focused on Canada. Normally we just do the US, but we took less exposure in the US for exposure in Canada. So rather than having 0 in Canada, we had big in Canada, and rather than having very big in USA, we just had big in USA. So it's a lot of bigs, but essentially we took less pop in USA and used that for Canada instead, in hopes that we try and improve our standing in Canada, which would be great. So that's some nonsense there. Oh, Mickie James. So apparently, yeah, WWE didn't even want her. They didn't even offer a new deal. So Mickie James, who has mid-60s pop, is heading to TNA, which ultimately would be huge for TNA. I guess I'll bring her in as a face. We probably won't get to use her before Bound for Glory. Maybe one appearance if we wanted to. So yeah, that kind of sucks. We wouldn't really get to use her in any real capacity. Let's take a look at some of the popularity changes. We'll start with some of our top tier names. Obviously AJ Styles winning Bound for Glory. How did he go? So Biss, he was in the opening match. He lost to Styles, so he's about 94 pop, dropping down to 90. AJ Styles went from about 88 to 93, 92, with 2 huge wins in the one night. So a big night for Styles. Jericho 91, 92, despite losing, he went up in popularity. That's great. And Christian, well, he won and he dropped in pop. So I guess losing to Styles cleanly cost him a bit of popularity, but dropped just to 89. So he was 90, not a big deal. Goldberg 88 with his segment. Lashley. So this big Lashley and Goldberg match should end up being pretty good, with Lashley being close to 90 pop. Muhammad Hassan 80 and 90. And Sting mid 80s still as well. We'll drop down the card a little bit further and check out some of the other names. Shelley 81, that's great. Not sure who's going to take on Shelley. I mean, we've got good options. You know, with Homicide would be a really strong name to take on Shelley. Did Homicide ever win the X Division Championship? No, he did win the Super X Cup but never won the championship itself. So look, he's doing the LAX thing at the moment, but he'd be a terrific opponent for Shelley. Probably the best opponent we could do for Alex Shelley at the moment. Matt Hardy to 75 popularity. Bobby Roode 68ish. Nakamura doing well, mid 70s. Matt Morgan. Nakamura's got more popularity than Matt Morgan nearly. It's very close. Some regions, they're better than each other. And further down the card, I mean, we've got Cesaro, Chavo. CM Punk went to 56 popularity. He was originally 53. Shannon Moore is officially on his way out. He's gone. You know, he wouldn't get another contract. He's going to put over a few guys his way out, aka CM Punk, and that's a big little boost for Punk. Monty Brown, he can't even get a match these days. He's still got 70 pop. Monty Brown, you know, looking back in the series, probably our most underutilized guy. You know, he's a guy that, yeah, his skills weren't great, but we could have done a lot more with him at some point. You know, with his charisma, you know, he should have been a lot better than perhaps he achieved. Same with maybe Eric Young. I think he's another guy that we heavily underutilized. But I guess you can't push them all. Not everyone can get that top spot. Jay Lethal, well, he's definitely not a lower mid-card. Apparently the game still thinks he is. But he's definitely on the mid-card now. Mid-60s pop. You know, and considering when this storyline started with him, I think he was at, 49, 48. And we got him to mid-60s, which is kind of outrageous when you think about it, to be able to accomplish that. So, in such a short space of time. And Shelley never really lost much because of it. You know, it's a great feud there for Jay Lethal, and another guy that we've basically made into a star, who is still, technically, he's still in Ring of Honor. He's still in Ring of Honor, probably one of their top tier names in Ring of Honor. What kind of matches he's having in there? Well, you know, he had a 72 there, a 72. So Ring of Honor only do monthly shows, which is one of the biggest issues with them at the moment. They only do monthly shows instead of doing the weekly stuff. So he doesn't really get much opportunity to wrestle there anyways. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We might check the women out lastly, with Lita getting a big win. Where's her popularity at the moment? So close to mid-70s, with Molina at almost 70, which is surprising. You'd think Molina, with how good she's gone, you'd think she'd be doing better, with her record being 51-8 over the last 2 years, but specifically 2007, 27-3. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. But getting women popularity is so difficult. You know, Molina started in the low 60s, but nearly got to 70 now, which is a pretty good accomplishment considering there's nobody higher than her, other than Lita at the moment. But realistically, no one higher than her. It's been so difficult for her to move up the card. But that's where we're at there with our progression. And obviously, we are in week 3 of September. Week 2 of October is Bound for Glory, so we've got 4 weeks to build. So we now know Styles, Muhammad Hassan. We'll probably do a rematch between Matt Morgan and Nakamura. Lashley versus Goldberg. Lita versus Molina. Rude Matt Hardy probably won't happen on that card. This storyline can finish. That's done. We now know America's Most Wanted versus Bad Influence will happen. This storyline there is done. And then the X Division is certainly wide open. We need to find a new opponent there. And then obviously Joe and Lesnar could potentially happen. Lesnar and Abyss, whatever you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments. But there's some potential matchups there. So overall, I'm pretty excited for Bound for Glory. I think it's going to be a pretty strong card. We'll just advance another day. It's going to be pretty strong. You know, we've got some good matchups there. I like the main event. Hassan and Styles should be good. You know, last year we had Hassan and Christian, and they had no chemistry, but they still managed to tear the house down, thank goodness. But let's hope that doesn't happen again with the chemistry stuff. Joe Mercury and Layla is gone. So Layla is gone there as well. Layla hasn't got much wrestling skill in this mod. I think, you know, that she definitely would need an edit, but yeah. Let's check out Developmental. Seth Rollins beat Hardcore Holly to keep the GFW Heavyweight title. So Seth Rollins doing quite well down there. And he's tag champ and heavyweight champion, so he's doing very, very well, to be fair to him. But yeah, so Bound for Glory is officially done. It's been a good series, a fun series, and Muhammad Hassan won last year. AJ Styles, your winner this year, and it's cool. You know, last year in the final, it was Muhammad Hassan and Abyss. How do we manage to do that? Muhammad Hassan and Abyss, a heel vs heel, that was a bad call for me. But this year, a 99 rated match for Styles and Christian, which was cool. Very, very cool. And, oh yeah, and Christian and Chris Jericho in the Bound for Glory Series final, I think I forgot to mention, I did have Chris Jericho interfere and basically cost Christian the match. So I know it's been a long-term feud and we've had some matches between the two, but I think one more match between Christian and Chris Jericho could work out really well. Maybe a big stipulation match, something like a Hell in a Cell, something like that. A really big stip match would work out really well between those two, and they would be able to cap off that feud really strongly. But that's kind of where we're at right there, and that's kind of where we're at with this episode. I'm going to leave it with that, but next time we are going to be really seriously booking some big shows, the last few before Bound for Glory, and Bound for Glory will be 4 hours. It's going to hopefully kill it, hopefully be our best show of the series. You know, I'm sure we're gonna make sure that we get some. Yeah, there you go. We got some paying some money. We're going to get the celebrities out. We might have to pay a little bit more. I'm not sure. We're going to get them all out there to try hit our 100 rated show and the best we possibly can. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this episode of Total Extreme Wrestling. As always, 100 likes equals another episode, so leave a like on this video right now so you don't miss the chance to get another one a little bit sooner. Subscribe to see more so you don't miss any episodes from me. Make sure to check out my stream series, my WWE 2011 and WWE 2018 series as well. They're available right here on the YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed it.